Well, guys, it's been a while since I've done any kind of videos on anything, really. Today's video is just a recap of what I've been dealing with here for the last month or so with this car. Um, so, updated some parts with the car, updated the 940 radiator and fan to a Griffin Circle Track radiator, which is not in now, as you can see, and two spow fans. So the whole setup is really nice, really legitimate compared to the hokey pokey four-cylinder radiator and fan that I had run. Problem was the car was running hotter than it ever had. Even with the 940 radiator and fan, the car just seemed to be getting hot like when I was in the throttle, and it never had done that before. Initially, I thought that by removing the heater lines and the heater core from the mix, that was causing a problem. But I kind of proved that wrong when I replumbed the heater core into the thing. Still running hot, running hot. Anytime I had my foot on the gas, it just seemed like the temps would shoot up. Um, so the next thing was checking for combustion leaks in the cooling system. I'd bleed the thing for a half an hour at a time, and I would have constant bubbles. I was having black little soot flakes floating around in the coolant. I ran one of those combustion leak tester things over the radiator fill, which yield a slight turn in color in the fluid, which subsequently means that there's combustion gases leaking into the cooling system. So, with that said, ended up pulling the heads off the car. I ended up dropping the heads off to the machine shop. He pressure tested them. They pressure tested fine. Brought them home. Got new LSA gaskets and ARP head studs, and cleaned everything up, and blasted the heads back on with fresh gaskets. One thing I did notice when I started pulling the heads off initially were that some of the head bolts were like unnervingly loose. I don't want to say loose like they were on finger tight, but when I put the bar on it to undo them, they were just kind of like didn't take as much effort as I thought that they would need. Usually when I've done head bolts, take them off, like they'll crack, and then you can spin them off. These were just kind of like limp wrist tight, I should say. So hoping that the reused bolts just ended up biting me in the butt. And that's kind of where we're at. So this video is pretty boring so far, so let's talk about something that isn't so boring. So I reached out to Matt from Fancy Mechanics, and he has some new products he's about to launch, I believe tonight at least. And the first one being this harness here. So he's making two variations of this, a single sensor and a double sensor. These are, so for me, I want to use coolant pressure sensor. These will basically allow you to have a plug-and-play solution for adding that sensor into your mix with the Holley Terminator setup, even for a gold box and stuff like that. You have male and female TPS style plugs. Both are great. They're all sealed weather pack plugs, and then you have the wire that goes back to the input, I believe. And then the second one, which was kind of like a custom request by me, but I think he might also start doing these as well, is this is the Dial-A-Boost. It's a plug-and-play Dial-A-Boost setup. So, again, you have the Dial-A-Boost knob here that goes into a really skookum weather-tight seal. This is inside the car, and then you have the pass-through style connector here that will plug into your input, output, and then a little takeoff for the power tap, I believe. So all these things are freaking awesome. And I'm almost 100% positive he's going to make both of these available on the website either tonight or in the next few days. I think he and Jamie are going to do a video on these relatively shortly, explaining them more in detail, but definitely another cool couple products that Matt's been cranking out in his spare time. I'm not sure how he has spare time at this point, but irregardless, reached out to him the other night, and these actually, he whipped these up and like as I was on the phone with him. It was kind of crazy. So the dude is just a machine. Again, he's gonna offer two variations of the sensor style connectors, whether it be for a coolant or fuel pressure or maybe even back pressure, turbo back pressure. I think they can be used for any sensor really that has the TPS plug. And again, I'm sure he'll correct. Well, he will explain specifically in his next video. And then again, the second product, for me at least, he put together this plug and play dial boost solution. I'm a big plug and play guy, so I'm into that big time. And I think that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. I've been trying to plug away at this whole thing consistently as I have time. Like I said in all my posts on Instagram and Facebook, I've always preached that even if you do a little bit a night, what you might think is irrelevant ends up being productive over the course of a week or over the course of 10 days or 2 weeks or a month. Even if it's just putting plugs and wires on a car, like getting them plugged in, and at the end of the day, it's still one more box that you can check off your list of 2 million things. So that's something I constantly try to tell people. Instead of just like ignoring their project in the garage, come out and just like do something on it. Even if it's just like I said, putting plug wires on, or verifying timing, or I don't know, just anything. It all adds up, even if you don't think it does. So that's all I got for you guys. It's been a crazy couple months with work, having to deal with all the COVID stuff, and then getting this car out of storage, and then putting a whole bunch of money into it, and having more problems than I've ever had with the car. So I am hoping that this kind of resolves or mitigates that issue, and crossing my fingers for that. But in the meantime, I've been tossing around the idea of putting together a motor for it, at least a short block. I've hovered over that buy it now on the Texas Speed website for a month or so now, but I just can't bring myself to dropping like $8,000 for a long block. So with that being said, I'm going to try to fix this first. I really, really want to get this car running, and maybe even to the track before the season's over. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me for this ramble video, but that's just kind of what I've been dealing with. And then again, these are a couple awesome new products from Matt. Keep an eye out for those on the Sloppy Mechanics website. And until I got something else that is a little more exciting, I'll see you guys later.